Behind the operational challenges that go into managing an accounts receivable function, there is a hidden cost associated with receivables. Many times, just because of the way the entire operating model of finance works, these hidden challenges are not exposed or they don't come to light. Let's pick up an example for a food and beverage industry, which currently has a DSO of around 32.5 days. This is a 2025 number, and we are just entered 2026. What all goes around in a food and beverage business? What are the hidden costs of managing accounts receivables? So, as you all know, a typical accounts receivable cycle can be divided into four different steps. First is order management, where a customer places the order and the order goes for fulfillment, after which the invoice is raised and sent on to the customer. Then, when the payment doesn't come on the due date, there is a collection effort. So, there is a team of collectors sitting around making collection calls and dunning notices to different customers who have not paid their dues. And once any dispute, adjustment, or deductions related efforts are made, after that, the payment is received and the payment or the cash gets applied. This is a very typical order to cash or accounts receivable cycle. Now, very interestingly, we'll just expose certain numbers and metrics associated with this cycle as to how the different cost elements behave and what are the key drivers of these cost elements. Starting with the order phase, on an average, and these are median values taken from the benchmarking figures from Hackett Group and APQC. So an order typically costs $10.09. So that means that if you have to re-enter the order or make certain modifications, 14.4% of orders actually go for modifications. So anytime you are making a modification or re-entering the order, the cost is getting applied accordingly. Beyond the DSO, we need to look at some invoicing metrics. So 94% of invoice lines are accurate the first time, which means anytime I am entering an invoice or I'm altering an invoice, it is a cost to the business. The general productivity benchmark is 50,352 invoices per FTE per year. Once it moves to collections, there are some other metrics which are important. On an average, a collections agent has got around 259.6 customers to be managed, average customer contacts to be managed within the year. It takes 8 days to resolve any customer deductions or disputes. And of late, there has been a 7% increase in DSO that has been observed in the last year for food and beverage industry. When it comes to payment, on an average, an FTE receives around 22,659 remittances per FTE per year. 44% of these are automatically matched. The reason for putting these numbers together in this particular fashion is you need to look around whether you are better off or worse off. So, if you know your operational numbers, this acts as a reference point, as a benchmark to compare yourself with them. So, operationally, what this translates to, as we all know, we touched upon it, it takes around 8 days to fulfill an order. It costs around $395 per customer to collect the money from the customer. So it's like at a customer level, around $400 are going in terms of the collection efforts. So the more collections we have to do, the more accounts move into the collectible stage. This is going to be the cost onto the business. Very interestingly, if 15% of the invoices turn into a dispute adjustment or deduction, and it takes $72.8 in order to process a deduction, we are not even talking about the working capital or the cash flow acceleration impact which could be there. But if this is what it takes just to process it, uh, this is a significant amount of money that could get lost in translation, especially if you are having millions of invoices. And finally, it costs around $3.89 to process a remittance. Now, if you have to process a remittance twice, this is an additional burden. What if this entire model, this entire reactive operating model could be changed and we can make it a completely proactive model? You want to know more about that? Just scan this QR code and reach out to us, and we'll be happy to assist you.